All right, who wants to go second? I'm just going to put everyone in order, and then we'll do that. Okay. Jared or Kelp, who wants to go third?
I just like the idea that we're forming an actual line. So you can't even see fucking...
He hides our numbers.
Jared and... They travel single file to hide their numbers. That doesn't really work with an ogre. We just have to hop between his footsteps.
Or we modify his outfit so that there's handholds and footholds on the back of his shirt so that they just see one giant ogre coming and then we all jump off his back.
I have a really good climb skill.
Alright, now real quickly, everyone focus on that spot. Probably with your hands not on it. Tate, is your camera facing the thing? Or where's it at? Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll start in a minute with introduction, and then we'll go down the line.
Skills are done.
Nice.
Alright, again, just the side equipment, and maybe a little bit of backstory for your guy. You can play off of what the other guys say. Okay, so, to begin. You're recording, right, Kelp?
Yeah.
Okay. You said you cleared off. I didn't hear if you said you were recording. Sorry. Anyway, fantastic. Alright. During the time of the time skip, we are going to now look at a side story of the past. One that will not necessarily impact our adventurers, but at the bare minimum, is an interesting little story. The Dwarven City, the main Dwarven City, had a group of heroes whom they sent on a mission to deal with a aggravating situation, which was a growing horde of monsters involving, but not limited to, things like kobolds, goblins, ogres, orcs, and the like. The heroes were successful in killing off the horde's leaders and many different key members. The heroes went home triumphantly and are now inside of the Dwarven City, living up the high life, those posh assholes. Because this isn't a story about them. This is a story about the survivors of the Horde and their decision to become the new leaders. The individuals each have their own story and reason as to why they're here. And now we shall find out who our, quote, heroes are. Or rather, villains. Lamb, if you would.
Alright. Glug Glug. He is a about average-sized jungle kobold, but his skin is pulled on so tight, even for jungle kobolds, a lot of people don't think he actually has skin. They just think he's a skull. Wow. He was living up in his mountain homes until the group of adventurers had to come down through, leading some archaeologists, believing their home to be the site of, like, older, I had the name. The Dragon People. Dragon People.
Dragonborn?
Thank you. Old Dragonborn ruins, and exterminating the kobolds anywhere they went. Which is where Glug Glug comes into most of his items. His breastplate he gets from electrocuting a halfling. I'm trying to remember what else he got. The other two aren't really important. The belt of giant strength probably is. Yes, I am Kobold Skeletor Homewood. Yes, I am. But at this point, he is just going... He's just going for a standard kill all humans approach. That's all he wants, is to just watch them all jiggle as they die. Through electrocution. It's all he wants. Sorry.
Floor is yours, Noah.
This is Crux. He is an Earth Kobold, and he spent most of his young life in his Horde, not doing much but following the order, until they were all wiped out by a group of adventurers. He ended up hiding close to a rock and seeing everyone he knows die. It was a sad day for him. He spent most of his time wallowing under what he could do, till he came across a dead body that contained a few interesting things. A helm and a lantern. He took his time learning what they did, and the helm let him talk to people. He understood what some of them could say, so he stalked, and when he got the opportunity, he slayed a few adventurers in the night. He got used to this, and started to become his normal practice, till he began to find it harder to actually get to them when they were weak. One of them nearly killed him. He decided his best option would be to join the adventurers as a companion, to carry their materials and help. But in times when they were in dire need of help, instead he would kill, take their stuff, and run. Always hating adventurers, and always looking to find a new horde.
Marcus.
Oops.
What did you do?
I float upside down where I want.
I mean, he can fly, apparently. Ah, that's cheating.
Don't care. It works, alright?
All right, Kel, the floor is yours now.
Already, Ezrog is a large, big loner ogre mage who traveled the lands as a loner. Yeah, no, okay. I use the word loner twice because, you know, it's so much of a loner he is. Anyway, hunting for major threats and no... Thanks, Lamb. Hunting for major threats and only engaging in combat when necessary, focusing on learning about anything and everything the world has to offer by any means necessary, even if it did mean destroying towns and villages to find out more about the subjects. With an interest in the power of enchanting, Azarug has stolen or made magical items throughout the years to aid him in furthering research, only returning to the few ogre mages in his clan after hearing of major threats and destruction to the brethren, joining up with smaller allies, kobolds, to aid in countering the threat.
Your turn, Jared.
Ohanzi is a quite small desert goblin. It's got kind of brown gold skin color, black hair, and beady little red eyes. He didn't really know a horde growing up because he was raised by his father after they were kind of wiped out, and he didn't really have much of a parentage, more of just a, okay, you're around, I need to kill things, let's teach you how to kill things so you can help me. So he grew up to be a kind of assassin of stealth, a ninja. And eventually his dad ended up dying, maybe not because he poisoned him before the outing, and now has most of his equipment. And now he's trying to find some place where he can get new targets killed.
So his assassin style is like the Sith. You have to kill the master to become the master. Nice. All right, Tate, do you have a idea for your character?
I do.
Do you have a
And
name?
I'm making his equipment. Yes, his name is Brick. Brick and Mortar. Actually, it's more Brick and Mortar. He is an Arctic Devilkin Goblin. Barbarian. Just a regular barbarian. But, you know, sometimes it's the simple things in life. After basically jumping from tribe to tribe, because every tribe he went to up in his region, since Arctic, he was kind of in the colder areas, had no reason for bricks. For some reason, he liked making bricks over and over and over. And when the former tribes basically were like, okay, you need to do something useful, he would usually assault them with bricks. And then disappear. Because it's not like they could stop him. He's pretty much a big goblin. 3 feet 6 inches. He's pretty big for a goblin. Yeah, that's about it.
You're still puny as hell to me, Tate.
Well, yeah, but...
Alright, so that is the characters. Now, very, very quickly, just to any and every audience member, to a degree, this does represent size. They are literally that short compared to how tall he is. This is not just because they are, to a degree, quite literally like this.
But, you know, made out of less blocks and more actual
Flesh.
flesh and structure.
I don't know. My guy's basically a walking skeleton.
Now then, again, to begin this, we will have a little bit of conversation as the characters are approaching to the cave. But I will give the story with that. The idea here, before I continue, though, is that you've gotten Ogre Mage, which is a warlock, right? Sorcerer? Okay, which is a sorcerer. You've got 2 goblins and 2 kobolds, consisting of barbarian for a goblin, ninja for a goblin. Lamb, what were you?
Dragon
Shaman?
Shaman.
A dragon
that's the
shaman
word.
for a kobold, and then essentially a dragon slaying fire monk for another kobold. So whether or not an interesting development between those 2 characters happens or not, because one worships dragons and the other likes to kill dragons. Or, I guess, dreams of it. He's not exactly high enough level to do so yet. But it might be a dream of his, since that's kind of the class path he went down. Now then, same thing with the goblins, actually. One's all about being sneaky, and the other's about, I'm going to run through the door and make a lot of noise. Our little ragtag group here, for one reason or another, eventually became partners. Whether it be because one of them joining one of the other one's horde, or the 2 hordes from each other have joined forces, and after a series of we'll call them tests or trials, where they kind of just beat the shit out of one another. It's been decided that these were the best candidates to become the new Horde leaders. Now, there's an old tradition that used to be the old Horde leaders when they were getting close to death. You would take them to a location that knew there was a strong enemy and knew there was some sort of treasure in there, and tell them, steal the treasure and get it back to me, and you're the new Horde leader, and I'm the new elder. Feeling that they should do this even though the Horde would no longer have elders because they're dead, they've decided that to prove to the entire Horde that no, we should be the new Horde leaders, they've decided to go to one of these dungeons. And go to a dungeon they have found indeed. It is one that is filled with mystery in terms of knowing that there used to be, we'll call them common people and heroes alike that used to go here, but then they ceased, as if something happened. Then it got taken over by some goblins, and they disappeared. This has become a place of, kind of like, don't tread on ground unless for a very specific purpose to both monsters and people alike. Perfect opportunity to prove that they are best. So, our little group here is traveling on their way. And before they reach there, if anyone would like to have any kind of character interaction, by all means, some sort of conversation or anything.
Glug is drinking a shit ton out of the water skins he's carrying. He carries 20 of them in his bag, and he just constantly goes at them. So that's a lot of what you guys see throughout the day, is just him drinking water.
So, Brick, do you have any bricks on you?
Brick don't carry bricks on him. Brick make bricks whenever Brick needs.
Next time we have a chance, make me some bricks. I have an idea.
Well, Brick doesn't like giving his bricks away. People have hurt Brick with the bricks.
Okay.
But Brick will see. Who is Ohanzi?
That's Jared.
It's a great name. I love it. And Nux, I mean Crux. So big guy. Big friend. How do you feel about bricks?
You talk too much. Don't we have something to be doing?
Well, not yet.
By the way, did they make the hand smaller, or am I just zoomed out further than I think I am?
I think it might just
You
be
might
zoomed
just
out
be zoomed
still.
out.
Yeah. They look about the same annoying size to me. Or did Marcus increase the size of the floor blocks?
Oh, yeah, no, it's probably the floor block thing. These are like a 2 times.
2 times what we were been using?
Yeah, I made everything bigger so it's easier to see. Since I didn't need a lot of pieces, I figured might as well just fill the map with bigger pieces.
Good plan.
All right. Well, as our little ragtag team makes its way through jungle and mountain and whatnot alike, probably killing wildlife along the way for food, and whatever else it may be, we can see that they clearly kind of get along. They don't kill one another, but they're definitely not your kind of adventuring party you would normally see where they try to become friends. They're more just me monster, you monster, he want to kill us, so we team. But eventually, they reach what they know is the cave. The cave has come to be known for an unknown reason, having a name attached to it, called Cass the Betrayer. And this dungeon is known as the Chambers of Cass the Betrayer. Why is it his chambers? Who is he? Who did he betray? That is not known. This dungeon is just natural stone, at least as far as the beginning of it is. So they know that it's not the easiest to tread out of game-wise. You basically can't run until you get onto smoother stone. And you move at half speed, but for the rough stone, that doesn't matter. It is relatively shadowy in here, but as they progress, go ahead and decide who enters first. And the rivalry's already begun.
I know I should be in front because of mithril armor.
Well, funny you say that. Brick and Mortar has mithril as well.
Brick and Mortar look good.
Who's next? Put you guys in position and how you're going to be going down the hallways.
I think my guy is good, Marcus. Do you want to copy?
If he's good, you're good, Tate. I don't need to see it.
Oh.
As long as you didn't spend more gold than you had on equipment, and you didn't buy something stupid like 10,000 alchemist fire or something like that, you're good.
I do have
Like, how
10,000
would you do that,
slings
you
on
penny?
me.
No, you
I do have something.
I have the Space Force too. I have 2 bags of holding.
I do have something that I'm gonna run by you, because I don't know how to put it. Other than either a block of clay or brick-making material.
Shoe materials?
That would be for spells, Noah. He just has a lump of clay on him.
Essentially, yeah. As well as oil to help, wet it. And get it sticky. And then water to get it,
How much
I don't know.
clay? Like enough to make like 5 bricks?
5 pounds.
Of clay.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to, factor this into how the fuck this works.
It's not much, and he mainly gathers it to as we go, because, he can make it. He somehow finds the ability to make bricks. And that is not
Fair
like a 5-pound block, it is actually just 5 pounds worth of clay, so it's not much. It's enough to make about a brick.
Okay. I mean, you're in this place, you could realistically pick up dirt and or clay that you find inside of here and have it refreshed, so to say, it will be a dirt brick instead of a clay brick or a unrefined or whatever. Wouldn't be as nice is what I'm getting at, but fair enough. So this is how you guys enter in. As you enter in, and once you eventually turn the corner or get to the spot that treads off, you have the ability to go right and left. The path going both directions is shadowy. It is not very well lit, but the deeper in it goes, the little more light you can see as the natural light begins to fade and the sun is going down, while the cave itself is already dark and just getting darker due to the natural light fading. You begin to see that there is some sort of fungi growing in different spots on the wall, ceiling, and floors. And this is a phosphorant fungus, so it gives off some illumination. Your characters can see without the need of light, low light or dark vision, at least for now.
Does it bother those of us who have light sensitivity?
Not that much. It is a very small amount of light. You're actually starting to like it a lot more in here because you're out of the natural light.
Do you think if I eat that, my stomach will blow?
Or you become sick.
Too much skin on the stomach.
I think it makes a good brick.
What is this, Terraria?
Yes. Well,
So, right or left?
fork in the road. I say we go left. Brick's never been right going right. They call it right, but it's tricky.
I'll go left as well.
Yeah, the party's going right. Left or fucking whatever direction.
And hey, no cutscene. Wait. So Hansi.
Is he gonna go right? Kel?
Yep.
Okay. So as the party splits, I want you to move whatever your move speeds are.
Are we currently on the rough terrain?
Yes, the brown is rough terrain.
And
So you only move half your speed.
by the way, when you're around me, you get an extra 15 movement.
Why?
Wait, what the hell is your movement, Lamb?
40, 55 with my aura.
I've got
Mine's
60,
55
and with you I'd have 75.
Marcus, question.
Yep.
How high are the ceilings here?
High enough?
High enough that you can fit, but low enough that you are crouched.
Okay.
Or at least
that's
like
gonna kill your back.
leaning forward a bit. So if you were to stand straight, you would hit your head.
I asked because about flying, and then I wouldn't have to worry about the fucking rough terrain.
That's
it might
going
get
to hurt
bigger
your back
deeper
in the
in,
morning.
but at this point, it's not that high.
Hansi?
Could a small
Well-
kobold fly?
Yeah, you guys could realistically fly. What's your height, Kelb?
I think it was marked 10-3.
So since he's about 10 feet, and this is, he has to crouch a bit, in a sense, think of this as 10 feet high, which means you could theoretically, if you guys are about 3 feet tall, have 3 of you on top, 2 of you on top of another. You could be 3 standing up.
My height's, by the way.
We could get into a movie theater?
Hooray for wings.
Hotsy? Where the big
Magic item.
Very quickly, you guys eventually get on some smoother stone. It's not quite masonry, but it has been smoothed. So you now get natural movement. But as you turn the corner, the road is blocked. There is stalactites and stalagmites and pillars. It looks like there's really no way through. To a degree, you would almost think it's a wall, but you can kind of see that there might be something back there. This is when you also realize your lumbering giant friend is not with you.
Where'd Big Guy go?
Think he turned right?
Oh.
Well, you didn't say anything?
He's got our back.
But what about our front? He's big.
You're in front of me.
Damn, cold.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking something up. Is this thing in front of us kind of like a solid wall?
You would think it almost is until you realize it's just a lot of
Stalactites?
stalactites, stalagmites, and pillars. Enough so that it would take a decent amount of time to just try and break through.
Would I be able to climb through?
No, there's not
Damn.
like really any big holes.
Can I make enough bricks to get through?
Bricks
would make it
it
worse.
worse.
Unless we're throwing the bricks into the stalagmites. But even then, that probably won't help.
Well, the problem is he doesn't have a kiln, and he doesn't have fire. So he's just throwing clay.
He has Noah.
I do have fire. I have
It's
flint
true.
steel. And oil.
That's not gonna be hot enough, or burn long enough for it to be a proper kiln.
Basically, right now, Tate, you would need to ask one of your friends to use fire. What you have is the ability to make a flaming mushy brick. And that actually, with your guy's intelligence, is probably what he thinks it is, too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Flaming mushy brick.
Yep.
Not as good as hard brick. Oh, forgot to mention. The barbarian has an intelligence and wisdom of 8 and 8.
Nice.
So it makes sense why his character has things like that, because not the smartest. Anyway.
However, he keeps them separated and sorted on his belt in a pouch.
I'll go back and find the big guy. I can do that.
We could do that. There's too much wall.
So Marcus, I have the run feat.
Again, on the smooth stone, fine. On the hard, natural stone, not so much. You would pretty much just be tripping.
Would he be tripping balls?
The run feat only works for that. Okay, have an idea.
The benefit of natural stone, it helps out balance, and it helps out tumble. Oh no, never mind. It makes them harder.
Yeah, natural stone's a pain in the ass.
Oh my.
Right.
So I'm gonna run up to this point, then jump up and glide on my wings.
We
Okay.
won't stay here, or we won't go back.
We follow Fred.
All right. So realistically, with movement, the three of you can put yourself up to where you were going. The three of you would get to the natural stone by the time Crux would probably get to about there. And he had just enough time to see the big guy turning the corner. Mr. Big Guy, there is a tight squeeze that you will have to go in at an angle. Maybe breaking a little bit of stone, but still. Either way, though, in this tight squeeze, though,
There's a hovering map.
is a hovering map. The map has a thin piece of metal lining one side of it, and there is nothing written on it. It merely says, "Blood to reveal."
Cast Detect Magic on the map.
It is most definitely a magic map. Based on its school and your time concentrating on it, Crux would get to about here. 1 minute. And those three about there. For you to realize what the map is that it is a map with a couple different enchantments, one to make it float as an example, nothing too spectacular. The big thing is that you realize that what it is that it is a map that has a hidden image. So obviously the map is hidden. The way to reveal it through its magic is that you must give it blood. And the person was nice enough to add, in a sense, a razor along the side of the map. In short, cut yourself, put blood on map reveals itself. There is on the bottom right corner, it looks like where multiple people have probably put blood.
I will do that as well.
Alright. You prick yourself. It's not a lot of damage. You only do enough to make you basically have a couple drops of blood, and you press it on the map. Your finger covered up all the other spots, so clearly it must have been humans or goblins or the like, anything medium or small that was doing this, not large creatures.
I was half expecting you to. I was half expecting you to say, Marcus, that my finger just covered up the entire map.
It's not that small. But you lift up your finger, and part of it is a little covered in blood. But in short, the map reveals itself, and the laid out area that you can see here is what is shown. It shows that you are at the start, and that as you progress through, there are a few creatures. It doesn't really tell you what, but it does on the map show that there is life signs in those vicinities, and then clearly as an actual part of the map and not a magical part of the map, it shows that the room, in short, on the map it would show this room way over here. Wow, I did that way up in the air. The one with the fountain. That room is actually a puzzle that you must solve.
It's either that one or it's that one.
But it really doesn't give a lot of information. At least not as of yet. Maybe it does down the road. But for now, that's all it's showing, is that it's informing you there is a puzzle. There are things in here. And that's pretty much it for now. Oh, and its layout, obviously. As you do this, Crux, you turn the corner, and you see your big guy holding a map. There is blood on the map.
Other way is blocked. Can you get through this side?
What do you mean the other way is blocked?
Stone wall. With small gaps.
I could get through there.
Let's head this way then. I think others are behind me.
I could get through the other wall as well, is what I meant. No.
Oh. We'll see when they get here. They're slow.
After a few seconds of waiting, eventually these three turn the corner.
He found a map.
Oh, hello, big friend. Brick also likes all these guys because they haven't insulted his brick-making ability.
We haven't seen it.
Glug drinks too much water to really be able to insult them.
As they turn the corner and they say, "Oh, hello, big friend," and he says, "I have map." Or he has map. Everyone roll me a listen. Kelp,
22.
Lamb,
16.
Tate,
14.
Jared,
17.
Noah.
First roll of the game's a 1. Let's get fucked. 7.
Well, everyone that had above 10 heard what sounded like a person down that hallway. You're not quite sure what it sounded like, but it did sound like there was a person, like a human down there. The people with above 20, it sounded like they were saying just random gibberish, but you were hearing things about being hungry and being lonely.
So wait, what we heard was in common?
Yes.
Did it seem like the gibberish was in another language?
No, just it sounded like someone saying, like, you know, I'm hungry, but then every now and then saying toaster. When I say gibberish, like just random garble, but when it did make sense that they were hungry and that they were lonely. And then just random words.
Then do we hear someone getting really mad about he can't have his pudding until if he doesn't eat his meat?
No.
What do you think that is? Big friend, what is it?
The sound, I do not know. We would have to investigate.
I don't know what that is, but we should go take a look at it.
Wait, you heard something?
Yeah, there's a person or something that's talking.
You sure you're not hearing things?
I'm sure. Brick's ears are good.
Okay, well, let's go see. If they're adventurers, we can kill them.
I don't know how his ears are, but I heard it too.
In that case, you're all able to fit, but I'm going to need Azarug to roll an escape artist.
For the record, Brick's ears aren't that good. I get a -1 to the ability score.
Sounds like Brick has pretty shitty ears then.
What'd you get, Kelp?
8. Oh, wait, looked at the wrong stat. 9.
And he gets stuck. His stomach a bit too big. Or muscles, whatever. Just his body in general, just that little bit. Just too much. Brick, you know how to solve this. Punch the rock.
Big man need push?
Hold on, Marcus. I'm rolling a 50-50. Alright, let's go. Brick is going to go up over here and try and break the rock near Azarug to help his gut fit through.
So roll me a strength check. While this is going on, is Glug Glug gonna push?
What kind of check was it for him to fit through?
For him to fit through, it was escape artist.
No. I don't think I have anything that gives a bonus to that, sadly. Yeah, I'll keep pushing.
You're gonna push? Okay.
I will push, yeah.
You roll me a strength check. And, Calb, how does Azarug feel about someone punching rocks next to him and another one pushing him? Mind you, they're up to your shin.
I'm curious to know how the hell he thought pushing me was a good idea, considering how much I weigh.
With a 24?
I'm 693 pounds of an ogre.
We're just... Yeah, and we're trying to push fat through a door. Or a gap.
That's what she said. Anyway, Tate, what did you get?
The
I
fuck,
got 16
Marcus?
plus 4, 20.
All right. With the combined efforts of destroying part of the wall and pushing while Azrug squeezes himself, he eventually gets through. Azrug knows that most of it probably just came from him sucking in his gut a bit, but whether or not he's too proud to admit that the breaking of the rock and the pushing actually did help a bit is up to Kelp.
Brick looks at the powder he made. Not strong brick. Not good. I'm also not playing a complete idiot, but he's a little
Slow.
special.
He's a little slow.
Yeah, he's a little slow.
Also, I just realized how massive my aura range is. Holy shit.
I just realized how fucking long this hallway is.
Well, you guys are on smooth stone, so now you have normal movement.
I even said the bonus movement speed was 15.
15.
I can scout ahead.
Pretty sure, Noah, you and me are both able to sprint this whole hallway in one round.
Run times 5, 300 feet.
I have run times 4, which is normal run, but I have a speed of 55.
Speed 60.
I have speed 40. Well, 55 with that weird aura.
Yeah. That's why mine's 55.
Why are we
Okay.
just a bunch of speedy boys?
Because we're small.
Well, I have boots of striding and springing, so...
I'm a monk, which gives me speed.
I just happen to have 40 base natural movement speed as ogre mage for some reason.
Well, because you have a longer gait than smaller creatures.
Yes.
So, Glug Glug,
Why does he get the
Should-
longer gate? I want the longer gate.
should we charge and see out ahead?
What others think? We go, we stay.
We'll just sit here. It's not like anybody would get mad at us.
Rather be done with this quickly.
Very true.
Get more water. Build more farm.
I imagine a rock falls on Brick's head. Just a tiny rock.
Do you want a point of bludgeoning damage?
No, I was just saying.
Then no rock falls on his head.
I was just saying, like, you know, something to basically be like, oh, it's not like nobody's forcing us.
Unfortunately, Marcus, I hit the ceiling just right and caused a rock to fall on Tate's head.
Couple pebbles hit your head. No damage, but you're dirty now.
Me think Rock mad at you for breaking.
Nah, rocks usually understand. Rocks are pretty chill. They tend to roll.
Keep in mind, Noah, once you get outside of 30 feet of me, that aura goes away. So you
fucking
would
aura's
have it for the
30?
first movement. 30 feet, yeah.
Jesus.
With the modified version of the class, it almost went up to, like, I think 60. But then we went with the base version, which is probably better.
we're just gonna stand here.
Do you have to roll to run?
No, we're on smooth stone, Tate.
Okay.
We're not on the rough stone anymore.
And how much is running?
4 times.
So your speed times 4. Before you move, Noah, let them all move their speed. Keep in mind, if you're right next to Glug Glug, you have a plus 15 to your move,
At the
unless
start of the round.
you get out of his range.
Yeah, so if you're next to me at the start of the round, quote unquote.
By the way, do keep in
Oh,
mind
I've just been going by 40.
you do keep in mind your run speed's actually times 3 if you're in heavy armor.
Or medium armor.
Oh, medium is times
Nope.
4.
Or medium that scaled back to light.
Are you also wearing breastplate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and move silently as I go towards the corner to look out the end.
1
And
minute.
then
Has everyone
brick
moved the
happens.
distance they want to move?
I've moved full movement.
Even if I haven't moved the amount of what I wanted to move, I can't exactly move any further without stepping
true.
on people.
Well, you guys are
Well, you
able
are
to
an
move
ogre.
double your speed if you're just walking as a round, since you're not attacking. And if you're running, that's when you increase it farther. Okay, so once we get to this point, again, you guys are hearing noises coming from the left. You're able to tell that's where it's coming from now.
Now I'm gonna move silently towards the edge.
Alright, roll me a stealth.
That's another nat 1, so 11.
This is gonna be a good night for you.
Did I just rip a chunk off the wall and throw it into the hallway by accident, trying to lean over?
We're gonna do the idea of the D percentile for how bad it is.
I like that.
And sure, higher is better. 96, okay. No, you move forward and you get to the edge. You've been quiet this whole time. No one's heard a noise from you that entire movement. And right when you reach the edge, you put your hand on the corner to start to peer around, and it turns out that wasn't a very solid chunk of wall, and you just kind of break it off, and pieces of rock fall, and you stand there just to yourself.
Can I still look in?
Yes.
Mark,
Peek around the corner, and this dimly lit room that you can see. It's bigger than you can see. The walls clearly trail off to the sides, so the amount that you can see, you don't see anything.
I'm gonna pull something out of my bag, and that's the rest of my turn. Oh, speaking of which, I bought a bag of holding version 2.
That's fine. Again, your money was basically usable for whatever you wanted. I mean, within reason. It was just you got free items because that was, in a sense, loot that you would have gotten from level 0 to level 10.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it known.
Alright, so he moves there, and he starts rummaging through his bag. Everyone else is able to move.
Marcus, I rolled a 10 on Move Silent. I'm untrained in it, though.
That means you add nothing.
Yep.
Unless it has a black box next to it.
It does
If it has
not.
a black... What?
Move silently has
Yeah,
a
it
black
does.
box next to it. So,
So you still add your base score.
right, you gotta add your dex. You just
Yeah.
don't have any
Oh,
ranks in it then.
I have 13 then.
Okay.
I'm just sneaking up behind Nux.
Hey Crux, roll me a listen.
Come on, not a 1. Modded 20.
Okay, you hear Brick and Mortar. He's surprisingly quiet to you, but not quiet enough for your trained ears.
Whereas I got a 22.
To move silently?
Yes.
Crux, Glug Glug might be an apparition.
He's very skinny. At this point, I
So
think
this
he's just a
means I should
skeleton
remove it.
wearing
Roll a move
a
silent.
suit of skin.
Well, keep in mind, you are the same race, technically. Just very different. So deep down, you think that he's actually a walking skeleton just wearing the skin of one of your kin?
At this point, yes.
Fair enough.
38 move silent.
Oh, Hanzi's the same thing. For all you know, he doesn't exist. You see him, but there's no noise.
Give it a few turns, I'll stop existing.
Especially once Cal starts stepping on us.
Anyway,
Do
top
that.
of the order, so to say. What is Crux doing as all of his allies meet up with him?
He's pulling out his bear trap on a rope and arming it.
Okay.
He's gonna be holding it ready to use, and he's gonna turn around and say, "You go first. I'll follow behind."
Do I have to make a hide and move silently check if I'm going in?
If you want to go in there and be hidden, yes.
Okay. That is a 32 on hide. And an 11 on move silently.
All right. For all of you guys, you hear him, but he just kind of hunkers down and moves so swiftly that you didn't see him. If you would probably, Crux, potentially think to yourself to look over and be like, "Well, are you gonna go?" And he's not there, and you realize the steps weren't from the creature that must be inside, or person that must be inside. It was him. Just adding even more to the, he's definitely not a kobold.
Brick, you next, then me.
I was gonna say, well, I'll definitely go in if you're inviting.
Keep in mind, Tate, you do not have the plus 15 for my aura. Unless we want to count, like, everyone having theirs, having it for start of the round.
This is all the same turn, so he does.
Okay.
Right there. Perfect.
I'm gonna hide. Uh, 23.
Hiding where you're at?
And move, or wait, oh, it's move silently, then hide. Right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, are you
So-
already planning to party kill?
No. 18 move silently,
Alright, move yourself to your
18
spot.
hide.
And then the, what'd you say?
18 and 18 for silent and hide.
Well, we'll use the 23 that you had. Alright, Kelp, Jared, go ahead and move yourselves. Alright, with those of you that are in the room, it is still a very dimly lit room. The middle of it almost completely dark, due to there not being a lot of fungus there. But way off to the end, you can see there's a wooden board and a drop. There is a large pillar in the corner of the room, and who is this? Crux. I guess Crux, Glug Glug, and Ohanzi can all notice that there is some barrels in that back corner. Otherwise, this room seems to almost be a storage room of sorts. There is cooking items, as well as barrels and crates of, you can only imagine, maybe food, or maybe just more cooking items. Hard to tell.
A Venus bit here.
We don't see any guys?
You don't see anyone, but as you start to realize you don't see anyone, again you hear a noise that sounds like something. You're not quite sure. It sounds like a person, but you don't think it is. And it sounds like it's coming from the pit.
I want to look over the pit.
How do you look over the pit?
Just gonna be standing half kneeled, one hand on the planks to my side, looking over.
So, if it matters, I got a 25 move silently and a 30 hide, and I'm doing the same.
Okay. Let me make a roll. What'd you get on your hide, Blam?
30.
Okay. And Crux isn't trying to hide, right?
No.
Well, both of you peer in, and what you see is strange. It's like a pool, but instead of water, it's flesh.
Sounds delicious.
One quick second.